everyone, it's Morphin Mania again, and joining me this evening is my regular co-host for the show, DJ.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
DJ, are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. We're going to watch every episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers starting today with the first two. So we're gonna get right into it. Day of the Dumpster. If you are watching this after the fact and you want to watch it with us, get your DVDs, your Netflix, however you want to watch it, get it timestamp 0 and get ready to press play when I say now. Everybody else, look at your rabbit room. Let's get started. Here we go. After 10,000 years, I'm finally making the show.
Never. I guess we won't get tired of watching this intro.
I hope not. I mean, the nice thing is the intro does change up quite a bit. Not the first season.
Visually. Is this one of the shows that Netflix gives you the option to skip?
I think so. Oh no, yeah. I mean, pretty much everything on Netflix does that now.
Why are we only watching 6 of them?
You don't have to whisper. You know, it's okay.
I'm whispering. Oh! I have to speak louder.
Yeah, you got to talk a little bit louder. Yeah.
So
we're doing 2 episodes in each show.
Yeah, but I mean, why are we not going through all the shows?
Because there's just not enough time in the day. So we're filling up 5 days a week for the entire year of 2019. Okay. Is what we're doing here. So, folks, this is going to be real laid back. Of course, we're gonna watch this show and just say whatever comes to mind. I will try not to get too obnoxiously analytical with Power Rangers. That's my plan anyway.
Spacemen.
These space guys, they do some really cool things in the Go-Go Power Rangers comic series. They actually kind of make them characters. Rita kidnaps them right after this.
Oh, cool. Is there a reason? Did they explain why they're Japanese guys on American?
No, they're just Japanese guys. They look exactly like they do here. It's great.
That's awesome.
You're going to see a lot of shots, especially this first season, of a small city in California with a bunch of Japanese people just running down the street.
Do you know why?
Yes, I do know why.
And you know why. And maybe DJ knows why. But I have no idea.
It's because of the Sentai, Jason. Yeah. Barry in OKC says, "What? No turbo? I'm so sad." I want to think that's sarcastic. I thought about just doing all of Mighty Morphin era regardless, but I didn't want to leave out SPD.
We're not doing season 3. Are you kidding?
No, we are doing season 3.
You said what? But DJ said season 1, 2, 3.
1 through 3.
1.
Cinematographic. Hey, Jason, who's your favorite Ranger from season 2's cast switch in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? It's talking about Rocky and Aisha and Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I would.
Baranoki season. Yes, it was sarcastic.
I'd probably say I love Adam. I love Aisha. I love all of them.
Jason,
I think Adam would be my favorite.
Adam is your favorite?
Yeah, I love Adam.
So,
and Billy. What
Jason is wearing here, Billy was not added to the cast. There he is. He's right there. So what Jason's wearing in is the cosplay that Jason did for Power MorphCon a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to ask you the $10 million question, DJ. Are Bulk and Skull funny?
No. I mean, kind of, yes.
I was asking DJ.
Guys, Are you asking if what their written dialogue is funny?
Yeah, that's where I am too, right? Those guys together are hysterical, and when they're at their funniest, it's when they're ad-libbing things, they probably squeaked by and almost didn't even manage to get past the censors, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I really love Paul Shire.
No, on paper, it's really generic humor, but those guys together are kind of a Laurel and Hardy. I mean, they're really funny.
And they outlasted everybody.
Yes, they did. And keep coming back. At least Bulk does.
Didn't he come back in Samurai?
Yeah.
Never watched that, but was he kind of the same thing? Just like bad material, but he still kind of made it fun.
I didn't watch that either. I just knew he was there. Sorry, Jayson.
Yeah. The students say
Yeah.
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 Oh no, Connor missed the preamble.
Oh no. Connor, go back and watch the beginning of the live show. I'm just kidding. Connor, if you don't know how the rabbit thing works, just go click the link in the description and it will take you in trouble. Connor, we're watching Power Rangers. Click the link. You can watch Power Rangers with us.
He was just wondering why we were redoing the first few episodes.
Because we approached that a totally different way, and we weren't doing it as a live stream, and Eric's not going to be able to be on every episode, and yeah, so we had to start it over, unfortunately. So first season, Bulk and Skull are just bullies, and then second season they're going to try to figure out who the Power Rangers are, or do they start that even in the middle of first?
I'm not sure. When is the big like Power Ranger Day? Is that the end of season 1?
No, that's middle of this. Yeah, they start to seed that there, right? Because that's when they pretend to be superheroes themselves.
Mm-hmm. Did it beep again?
That's Doomsday, I think. Yeah. Now, I will say, Bulk attempting to do martial arts is always funny.
Yeah, him trying to do this tornado kick is really great. He's actually pretty agile for such a big dude.
No, that's right. He is. He bounces around, and yeah. He was like that in person, too.
Oh,
he was such a class act at Power Morphicon. He let me put a camera on him for like 15 minutes, and he just rolled. He just kept doing all kinds of really funny, crazy improv. And I didn't even have to ask him. I was filming, and he just came into my camera and started doing things.
He seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
I'm really jealous you guys got to go to Power Morphicon.
I would love to go again at some point. So we're gonna do an earthquake the TOS way. Shake the camera, shake the camera.
Oh, there's a first food fail.
Oh, that's true. That is, yeah, are we gonna count every food fail though, or just cake?
Maybe it's more specific.
If anybody has ideas about things that we should count, things that just happen all the time, let us know, because we do want to do some kind of counting Crypto Freaks type counting of things. One thing I know I want to count is like gadgets that should change the face of science but don't.
Does Alpha have like a robot teddy bear?
Yes, and I don't think he ever has that again. I don't know why he has that.
That's so weird.
This is one of the few places where until a lot later where the show seems to be we gotta tilt the camera because that means things are going down. But this is one of the few times early on that we have a little bit of self-awareness in the show where Zordon says, overbearing teenagers, and the show is kind of making fun of the culture at the time. And of course, they're not that overbearing and they don't really have attitude at all.
No, they're kind of vanilla, to use a term that I don't usually use.
Guy Person, will we also be doing a questions to ask Zordon when we get to heaven? Yes, absolutely. We should do that. We are going to make a lot of this up as we go along. Like every other Mania series, this is, again, completely laid back and just us watching TV with you guys. We are not planning much ahead of time. We want to just see what happens.
I kind of like that Alpha POV shot that we never... really,
yeah, we don't really do that much again either. Or maybe ever. That reminds me of there's an early episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where we do that with Geordi's visor.
Oh, that makes sense.
What is it?
So Alpha sees everything flat.
It's like Letterbox. It's just squished.
DJ, that's also a thing that we do with the Megazord, I think, at some point early on that we don't really do much later.
Yeah, you see them rising up when they're changing from battle mode to the Megazord.
But that's Sentai footage. I guess we just didn't use it much. So Cinematographic says we should call it Zordon Ex Machina. That's pretty good. Sorry, DJ, what were you saying? DJ, can you hear me?
You cut out for a second. What'd you say?
You were gonna say something.
Oh yeah. Have you ever watched the pilot episode for this?
No, I haven't. I meant to go find that. I forgot all about that. I think Eric and I talked about that also when we originally shot the first episode for this.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on the DVD set or the box set that I have, but it's on YouTube. And it's kind of weird. Zordon's name was Zoltar.
Yeah.
And he was green and he was a lot less humanoid looking.
Was it the same voice, or had they not cast Fielding yet?
Voice yet? I think he was still the first voice. Or I think he was different.
Oh, interesting.
Zachary.
Well, yeah, Zach is just short for Zachary.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Hey, DJ, what is your favorite Zord of the original Dino Megazord?
Like individual?
Yeah.
Or
does it just depend on who your favorite ranger is? Is that how that works?
Well, no, because it would be the Triceratops because I like the Blue Ranger, but that Zord kind of sucks. It just it doesn't move. It's just like a car that just drives. So it's got to be the T-Rex because that's the only one.
My favorite is Pterodactyl.
Yeah, that's a good sword.
Actually, it might be the Mastodon just because it's such a
Mastodon. I think is mine.
Yeah, such a unique design. I think that's mine too.
No, it's really cool. And I'll be bringing up the comics quite a bit, I'm sure. The Go-Go series, I think it's that series, has this, yeah, because that's origin stuff. It has this amusing bit where Zordon's like, hey, Billy, you have chains. You can use these chains, but everyone else, you've got to figure out what your Zords can do. I'm not going to tell you what they do.
Really?
It was really amusing. It's like you're supposed to get into some kind of stage of understanding or awareness about your powers or something before you can use certain things. But he kind of just gives him the chain move, which I think might be a joke at what you're talking about. Where it's like that Zord doesn't do a lot. You got chains.
Actually, you know what? I'm changing it. Saber-tooth tiger is my favorite. I apparently didn't give this question any thought.
I mentioned this with Eric, but I will never understand why the putty mold thing wasn't a Play-Doh set. Should have been.
Yeah, exactly. You could literally just take it straight off the screen. Do we ever see that footage of them being made again? That's cool.
Yeah, I think they go to that quite a bit actually.
Okay.
Early on, and that footage of going through the piping and stuff like that stock footage they reuse quite a bit. Can you hear it? Mm-hmm. You could kill them all right now. You've got them in a scope. You just.
But yeah, interesting. In the pilot episode, they didn't have the juice bar yet, so it takes place in a bowling alley. And Bulk and this other bully that I don't think they had cast Skull yet. There's two other bullies, and they were actually using. You know how they never use violence on Bulk and Skull?
They actually did.
Yeah, they totally did. They just beat the crap out of them.
I gotta watch that
in the bowling alley. But
we should maybe when we get done with Mighty Morphin go back and do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just do a commentary on that. If it's on YouTube and everybody can see it, then
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I like the girl who played Trini in that. She was really good. I actually liked her a lot.
Yeah, I knew she was different. Is everybody else the same?
Yeah, she's the only one that's different. Bulk is not the main bully. He's actually the secondary bully in that.
Oh, weird. Interesting.
Like a real generic bully that's not funny at all. He's supposed to be serious with a leather jacket, but they must have liked Bulk a lot more.
Go.
Yeah, well, that's fair. They made the right choice, clearly.
Yeah. I don't see much in that I wish they had kept, except maybe the Trini actress, but everything else is much better.
Obviously, the problem with Rita Repulsa is that she could actually kind of stop or kill the Rangers at any time she wants to, but it's a kid's show, so that doesn't happen. She seems to have, because she knows their identities from the beginning. She knows where they live. She's got a telescope that lets her look at them no matter where they are. And she always just waits a few days before she tries again, and she never attacks them where they are. It's almost like she's held to their code to some degree. Like,
Yeah,
not
she's
actually,
never on
because,
the
like,
thing.
she does escalate the fight, you know, she does, like, pick fights in the first place. She's got this, like, accidental sense of honor that we pretend like she doesn't have, just so that we can keep this formula up every time.
Yeah. Just so simplified. It's like, that's how the world works. Is I wouldn't attack them when they're at their house. That's mean.
Yeah, I never do that. But good things make me sick. You know, I said this in the rewind, the overview for season 1, but I am still, like, kind of impressed that whether they did it on purpose or not, they kind of built in an internal logic reason that the Power Rangers don't just go to the moon and stop her. They're like,
yeah?
we're not allowed to ever escalate a fight. We have to wait and react to the bad guys attacking us. And so this formula is allowed to happen because of the ideology behind it.
Did you just see the pig mold on the table? That was pretty cool.
I actually wasn't looking at it right then.
The pig monster was on the table already, like in the putty form. Foreshadowing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this show's way more sophisticated than anybody gives it credit for.
Oh yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing.
So, DJ, which series did you start with?
Oh, this one.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, way back. I had the VHS tapes as a kid where you got like one episode.
Yeah.
So I didn't see a lot of it until later, but I had quite a few episodes. I remember I had the Zedheads episode, which is season 2, but
yep,
I watched that one a million times, and I had they did like the first 5 episodes. You remember those VHSs where each one was a different Ranger color and like did like high five?
Yeah, I do remember that. They did that with Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah, I had some of those too. I had the blimp episode. I don't know, where everything like floats away. Can't remember what it's called.
Man, I love the blimp.
But yeah, I started with Mighty Morphin. I watched.
Yeah, you have a 2012 blimp.
Well, yeah.
I didn't see much Zeo or Turbo, but then Space and Lost Galaxy I saw a ton of.
Oh, okay.
Because they released a lot of that on VHS. Because I didn't have, I don't know if you know this about me, I didn't have television as a kid. I had a television, but we didn't have like cable. So
interesting.
Anything I watched was movies or VHS tapes, DVDs, stuff like that.
David Crabtree says that until I mentioned it in the commentary last year, he didn't know that the 95 movie was out of continuity.
Yeah. I actually don't like the movie because of that. I really
it's just such a weird choice. It does not hold up on repeat viewings. Certainly. Guy Person says all the Wasserman scores are great workout music. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Jayson and I actively listen to the Wasserman soundtrack.
While you're working out?
No, just driving around.
Yeah. I listen to it a lot.
Do you listen to it working out? Is that what you listen to it?
No. I listen to it playing the game. It helps me.
while you're playing because the phone game, because the generic music they have on there is terrible.
Yeah. I've never even turned the volume up on it.
I mean, they have voices now, which is kind of fun, and some of them are okay. Ninja War sounds great, but
yeah, Ninja War's hilarious.
So at the beginning when Jayson was showing Billy the tornado kick.
Mm-hmm.
The tornado kick, nobody knows this, but in dance there's a jump called the Eclipso, and the tornado kick is a lot like the Eclipso.
Oh, interesting.
And
that sounds like a Power Ranger monster.
You usually go to the floor, but sometimes you just do the jump.
Thomas Edshell says he likes Alpha's design. I always thought Alpha was a pretty inspired design, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something didn't need a fix for the movie, the new movie. I don't know why.
No, but a lot of that was just changed for the sake of change, right? I mean, we redesigned the costumes, so we completely redesigned everything.
Yeah. I think you could have did a decent update to that without doing the whole organic, like, weird thing.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
And he still could have had weapons and stuff in him if he really wanted that. It was weird to make him a training robot.
Yeah, that I really like the first 2/3 of that movie a lot.
Yeah, I feel the same way about it, except for all the stuff that's obviously cut out.
Yeah, have you watched deleted scenes on that?
I haven't.
There's really good with it. Really explains his character a lot more.
I
He's
kind
not
of
just whiny
expected
about
that.
football. He actually has like a reason.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to go in and look at that. Ciro says, anyone see the Power Rangers Street Fighter crossover video? Yeah, I watched that. Did you see it?
Yeah, and for me, the only cool thing was to see like a really good Ninja suit.
Yeah, same here. Why didn't Ninja sound like Marvin Martian in that? He had a really generic voice.
And it's made by the same. It's like in tandem with the game, and they got the voice right.
And the game got it right. Yeah, that's so weird. No, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why there are evil good Rangers at the beginning. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that. Are they planning to make more, or was that just like a tease for the game?
I assumed it was just a tease for the game. Well, that's already the pilot.
Wow, we barely talked about the pilot.
Talked all around it, but I mean, this show is going to be really redundant. It's going to be a lot of the same thing over and over again. So we will have plenty of time to talk about random things in the pilot. It is, I think, for this kind of show, it's a really good pilot. It makes a lot of sense that it got so popular as fast as it did, I think, just because it's so energetic and high octane, and it's got that soundtrack. And like I said in the rewind, I think the popularity of the show is 30% that soundtrack.
Yeah, so fast paced too. They just run right through everything.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, and that makes the pilot, or I'm sorry, the 2017 movie kind of hilarious because they stretch out all of that so that they can finally concentrate on character stuff, but then they're missing the Power Ranger stuff for so long you kind of forget what kind of movie you're watching, and yet the mythology is still kind of nothing.
Yeah,
but no, it's, I don't know, it's kind of nice to just like rush through the origin and get rolling on it. I guess we have like a couple of seconds of conflict where it's like, I don't think I want to do this. No, wait, never mind. And then
psych, or what does she say?
Yeah, I think that's what she says.
She says not.
So Kimberly is a total Val girl at the beginning, but she will lose that pretty quickly. Billy is way nerdier early on than he is later. He will later lose the overalls, he'll lose the glasses. Because when we want people to be cooler, we have them take their glasses off.
They actually lose their defining character traits as they go on, which is weird.
That's true. They kind of get more generic as they're supposed to seem more, kind of updated and cool or whatever. That's a really good point you're making. Jason Joe says Ninja was Dudley Do-Right. Nah, maybe he was closer to Dudley Do-Right than he was to Marvin Martian. We're going to go ahead and get in now to High Five, the second episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This will be the last episode we shoot for this first show, and then DJ and I are going to move on tonight to the next one.
And I'm not going to be there.
Oh, yeah. But for those of you that are watching this in January or on Patreon, it'll be the next day, or I guess in January. I'm talking to like 3 different audiences right now. It's complicated. Okay, let's get back into High Five and let's get into High Five and let's see what else we have to say about the intro. Here we go. Everybody watching this after the fact, please press play right now.
No.
I mean, yeah, if you were stuck in a dumpster for 10,000 years, that's probably the first thing you'd say when you got out. Like you just had a refreshing Mountain Dew.
That's the first thing my kid says every time I take him out of the swaddle in the morning. His arms just go.
Speaking of kids, my baby, because DJ and our wives had children almost exactly the same time. My kid is wearing the exact same outfit you have on right now as we speak.
Oh, awesome.
He has a Blue Ranger onesie. He's wearing it right now.
I got to get him one of those. My wife didn't grow up with Power Rangers, so it's not like she doesn't have anything against it, but it's just not something that we connect on.
Well, I mean, not with Sarah either, but she thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's all blue.
Yeah, my wife's not real big on Power Rangers. She didn't grow up with it. Sarah doesn't like the sitcom part of it. You know, like anytime we're out of costume, she doesn't care. She's totally cool with the monster fights, but she does not care about this stuff. And she's kind of anti high school dramas in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Thomas Edghill, as we were looking at the intro, said previously on Lost. That's pretty great.
Oh, this is the Heights episode.
Yep. Yeah, they do that right away.
I love how she's scared of it's like it can't be that high. Because this juice bar is not going to have like a giant vaulted ceiling. He's like 10 feet off the ground.
It's a really good point you're making.
Look, you can see
Look, they're cartoons. Whenever we do things like this, our characters suddenly transform from two-dimensional characters to one-dimensional characters.
Yeah, there's a hilarious fight scene in a couple episodes where they like get up on Jayson's shoulders and just like spin around. It's really
Baron OKC says maybe she'll like the later stuff. I've shown my wife some Space and she did like that. Okay, because it's just ripping off Voyager.
Yeah, it's just Star Trek with Power Rangers.
I always wonder if the Bulk and Skull actors get to pick their wardrobe, because it feels like they do.
I don't even know what it is. I've never seen it like it.
A lot of the crazy stuff they put on themselves feels like they must have pulled it out of like some crazy high school prop closet. Like the hat that Skull wears all the time with a question mark on it. Like there's no way some producer picked that, because the not Sentai stuff is so generic most of the time. If you're the really creative stuff must have come from the actors.
And I'm guessing he must have already had that ponytail in the 90s.
Yeah, that the rat tail thing was really in. Okay, so if that happened in real life, he would be owing Ernie so much money right now. And later on, Ernie will just freak out on him for destroying a cake and insisting on paying him back for the cake, but not the ceiling falling.
That's a really, like, that joke would never be made today. Like, he didn't even do anything wrong. He was just too fat and it broke and everybody laughed at him. Like, that's terrible.
That's true. Oh, you're right. We would never do that now. David Crabtree wants to know if your shelf DJ is color coordinated. Yeah, it is. It's color coordinated.
Yes, it is. As weird as it sounds. I love how the communicators are this early. He just like made them off screen.
Wait a minute, he made them?
Yeah, so the communicator, this is ridiculous. It's very, because every other Power Ranger series, the communicators will come from the Zordon-like character, right? But here, it's like Zordon didn't even consider they would need a way to communicate, and Billy has to make them, and the teleportation thing happens on accident. He didn't build them so that they could teleport. They press a button that does that, but not intentionally. It just taps into the teleportation part of the command center. It's preposterous. Why would you do it like that? Like, I love all of the really super like counterintuitive things. Like, you have to go out of your way to make something that counterintuitive. Why would you do it like that?
Yeah, I mean, communication and teleportation are just pretty much right next to each other on the scientific spectrum. Just tap right into it.
It's like breaking the light barrier and the sound barrier. They're right there. Like, if you do one, you could accidentally do the other,
I kind of like Billy making him. It's kind of like the Peter Parker making his web shooters thing. If they did it, made more sense.
The difference is Peter Parker didn't have a Zordon.
That's a toy.
That gave him his powers. Yes, that's a toy. So, Jayson, when you were younger, could you tell the difference between the footage? Like, could you tell something was off, where when you get to the Sentai footage, it isn't of the same quality and it's shot differently?
I don't think so.
You couldn't tell when you were little.
But
even at 9 or 10, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, when I watched this, I was like 4, so I didn't
Sure.
notice. But
Zero, Zordon's still an idiot for not giving them communication devices, but we usually have the communicators being a morphin function. Yeah, that's right. Later on, especially, we don't have separate devices for it. We make it one device.
Those communicators.
Barrett OKC is also arguing with you, DJ, and they didn't teleport Spider-Man.
That's true.
Okay, so
Guy Person also says, Cap, the ceiling is insured, the cake is not. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
can I?
Oh, this is one of my favorite monsters. He's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
What the heck?
That's Bowen's.
He can take off his head.
Yeah, and all of his body parts break apart. He is, I think, the first boss in the Super Nintendo game.
That would be.
I've never played the show game. I've played the movie one, the one that I sent you.
Yeah, which is kind of ironic now because we're doing the show together, and you sent that for. I mean, Eric and I might still make an episode on that, but
yeah, now I can't play it.
we send it back to you so you can play it, so we can then talk about it.
I have that toy.
You have a toy that looks like it, because I mean, this would have been, Japanese footage.
Yeah.
So, of course, in the Sentai, this is part of a completely different plot that's nothing at all like what's going on right now.
That ship looks a lot like the in-space ship later.
That's true, it does.
Not the
Angel
Mega
Grove
ship.
has like 16 different looks. It never feels like a coherent city whatsoever. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I feel like San Fran, Tokyo.
On other
06.
episodes,
That's exactly right.
or
Can you do spoilers?
yeah, on other episodes.
I don't think that's a big deal, do you, DJ?
No, I think most people have already seen. If they
Most people that are watching this are probably familiar with Power Rangers.
Okay, so what's that episode with the bus with Bulk and Skull?
That's
and the
not too
bus?
far from here. That's a few from here. Oh no, I think I'm thinking of one where they're in like a taxi or a car or something. No,
Yeah.
the bus thing is later.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an episode or if
No, it's an episode.
I don't.
Okay, so
Yep.
There's like
in
a
that episode, I realized a couple years ago that it was that bus because it shrunk.
Yep,
Um,
it's a model.
that it was a toy.
Yep.
I knew like 2 or 3 years ago that it was a toy.
Sorry, go ahead, DJ.
No, you're fine.
A lot of people don't know this about DJ, but he kind of has the physique of a Power Ranger.
What? Yeah, I guess I could talk about that. My parents are both martial artists.
See, that's why I brought it up, because I wanted to ask you if you'd ever done any martial arts.
Yeah, so I pretty
I'm
much.
not trying to put you on the spot, but DJ is in good shape in a way that I am not.
No, my parents have owned a martial arts school since before I was
Karate
born.
classes, but I have dance.
Sorry, go ahead, DJ.
I pretty much grew up. I was pretty much born in a martial arts studio, and we stayed there all day from right after school to 9, 10 o'clock at night every day. So.
Oh wow, cool.
I've been in it ever since then. I just recently.
Oh, you still do that?
Well, not now. I think up until I moved away for college is when I stopped. So I got my 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo. Mainly what they did was Taekwondo. I've done a little bit of Hapkido, a little bit of American Kempo karate, and mingled with some grappling and stuff. My dad likes to do a lot of different things, so I kind of learned a lot of stuff from him. But
Wait a minute.
Sorry if I put you on the spot there.
no, it's cool. I'll talk about it. And I'll probably mention a lot of the choreography in this as we go along.
I'm glad somebody's here that can talk about some of that. 'Cause, there were a lot of kids, and even when I was younger, I can't say little. I mean, I was in kind of like the like older age that was still like young enough to watch this, but just barely. And I knew teenagers when I was like, 9, 10, 11 that watched this just for the martial arts, but like didn't tell anybody about it because they thought it was embarrassing, but they would just watch it because they thought the martial arts were good and they wanted to learn it.
Yeah, that was pretty much me. I know you really like the Megazords and the morphing part, but I always kind of got bummed when they got to that part because then I didn't get to see the actors doing what they were doing. So I was kind of the opposite.
Enough.
I really liked watching that. And this show, I think paired with the Ninja Turtles show in the 80s, really got a lot of kids into martial arts and kind of perpetuated I don't know if you know about, like, the acrobatics and the gymnastics elements that are incorporated into a lot of martial arts tournaments kind of started in this 90s period. It got really popular at that period.
Interesting.
So yeah, you can't go to a martial arts tournament these days without seeing people just flipping around in the middle of their forms, which some people don't like. You can go to the traditional divisions, but creative and extreme divisions always have martial arts flipping.
So you think that by at least the third or fourth episode of this, and spoiler alert, this doesn't happen, the Rangers would just stop being remotely scared of putties? The putties would just show up and they'd be like, okay, so I'm gonna knock these guys over, and then I'm gonna go fight the monster. Because the idea is supposed to be we don't morph right away because, again, we're not supposed to escalate a fight. We're supposed to be responsible, and if we don't need all that power, whatever power means half the time in Power Rangers when you put on a morphing suit, then we shouldn't use it yet because that's an abuse of power. And the real reason is because they're just so easy. You could just like poke them and they'd fall over. But nobody ever picks that up. Nobody ever gets the memo. And then when we get the super putties later, it's even funnier because they're supposed to be like really hard to beat, and then they keep sending them. And then they just as easy.
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's the best. It's like maneuver 14B in the Tick.
This is terrible.
Well, yeah. So Zed's putties are supposed to be like the agent upgrades in Matrix Reloaded, where they're like, way harder for the Power Rangers to be, and then they realize, oh wait, they have a big button on their chest. But we'll get to all of this. We should mention that Goldar has a different voice early on, and there are places where it jumps back and forth between the voices.
Oh,
weird.
So I think by Green with Evil, we'll start to hear the regular voice, but then there are other places where it goes back to this voice.
Oh. I didn't know that. I thought it just switches.
Thomas Edghill, now the putty is putty.
Is Jayson wearing a tank top on top of his hoodie?
It was just that was a fashion then, man. That was what we did. Wow. We already have a time device in the second episode. Power Rangers just immediately goes to time travel.
Hey, they're not scared of that, man.
That's why
they don't stay away.
Time Force.
Zero, putties are seriously the worst mooks.
This is a really cool setting. I like the circus setting. I wish the whole episode was here.
Yeah, same here, but then it would be weird to try to match it.
Yeah.
Wait,
It would be like a different fair.
Did he see
Yeah, well, it would have completely different rides. I don't remember if it's. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The fair with like the clown monster that fights Kimberly.
What about it?
I think that was one of the 5 episodes. There's like another one where they go to a fair and there's like that pink clown monster. I guess we'll see.
Is that this early? That one I like a lot. That's the pineapple monster. No, that's not this early. That's a little bit later.
Okay.
Oh, this Halloween.
Yeah, Pineapple the Clown. That one watches like a 60s Batman episode. It's actually remarkably clever for this show. They do the flattened cardboard people, and yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty creepy.
When you're a kid.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
yeah, we're jumping all over the
Halloween,
place.
I think we should watch the Pumpkin Guy episode.
Yeah, the pumpkin rapper.
We can show it to friends and stuff.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, I got to tell you about that, Cap. They added him in he's a taunt in the game.
The pumpkin rapper?
For this Halloween special, they added a taunt where you know how to do the taunts, and then you get like a pumpkin on your head.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
I wish they'd do more straight up monsters in that game.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard because there's like 100 and something each season.
They're just putties in skeleton.
People are talking about a bunch of other Power Rangers things right now. Jason Goldman. I can't take Lothar seriously. He's such a goof. Everybody's talking about Lothar all of a sudden.
Oh, that's the Ninja Storm.
Yeah, which we're probably not going to do the entire show of.
I think that's what that might actually be my favorite season aesthetically.
Oh man, I hate skipping it if that's the case, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how to work it in.
No, it's okay. I mean I can talk about We can talk about aesthetics. I just really like the ninja. Like, I think Alien Rangers.
Try to do at least 10 episodes of every show, so you'll get like a fifth of it. Or,
yeah, so I'll get to talk about my love for it there.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll talk. I think people will be disappointed if we get rid of Time Force or if we get rid of SPD.
Yeah, I don't want to get rid of those two.
And I don't want to skip Zeo because A, it was my favorite growing up, and B, it kind of is just an extension of Mighty Morphin. Like, it's kind of Mighty Morphin Season 4.
There's something we don't do. We fight the monster as Power Rangers. We don't do that very much.
Yeah.
He was just like in his hand.
Oh, you mean when they've grown? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. We don't do that very much. I thought you just meant fighting fighting Morph. I'm like, no.
Oh no. No, I've watched Power Rangers.
Why did I invite you again? You've never seen an episode of Power Rangers.
What? They fight?
Holy says we should do the 25th anniversary episode from Super Ninja Steel. If we can work it in, we should do that. I've not gotten to see it yet. There's no place to watch it at the moment.
I saw some of the fights from it on some of the scenes from it on YouTube.
I'm sure it's not great, but they brought Cat back, so I kind of want to see it.
And Trent, actually, and Rocky.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
That's cool. You never thought you'd see Trent again. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Trent. I love Trent.
So this monster is kind of weird. It's just like a guy in a suit of armor.
He's my favorite dinosaur.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how he went from his smaller form to this.
Yeah, wasn't Bones the monster?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Or I guess it's a different monster. I guess they just went with two different monsters. So I should probably pay attention to the show we're watching.
Yeah, people are going to be mad at us.
It's really easy to tune out watching Power Rangers.
So the jump, so he was doing that jump. And it looked like he was doing that jump that extra jump that Yoshi does.
Yeah, it kind of look like that. That's fair.
Where it just goes boom.
Jason's gonna make a lot of video game references. She just kicks the globe.
Is that a globe?
That was a globe. Why do you need a globe? You only attack one place. That's a question. Why doesn't she just attack places where the Power Rangers aren't at?
That's interesting. So he's talking about hearing about him on the radio for the first time.
Yeah, there is a light sense of continuity. You of course wish that it was tighter, but we do that. And then hilariously, because of course, it is a sitcom at the heart of it with the out of costume stuff. It's so 90s line. We tend to have characters just sort of get used to monster attacks. Like, they're always scared of monsters if they're there, but if a monster's attacking and it's on the radio or something, it's just like, yep, it's another one of those. One of my favorite line deliveries from Ernie is maybe it was in the first episode, we passed it already, or maybe it's a little bit later, but there's a part where he's sitting in front of a TV and he just goes, "Can you believe this is happening?" Absolutely cracks me up. We didn't even talk about the Trini Heights thing. Of course, there's sometimes a really simple, obvious kind of Saturday morning or afternoon special kind of message, and that's just your standard face your fears message. But we will do that exact thing with every single character with something.
I love the Billy one.
It's always the same with fish. Yeah, it's great. And they got that into the Go-Go Power Rangers comic series. It's really fun.
Really?
Yeah, that's in there.
Well, I don't really read that series.
Oh, you should. The art's amazing. It's
I've only read
it's the guy who drew Klaus. It's fantastic.
I've only read the first issue.
It's weird that's where he went after Klaus.
Pilot.
Well, folks, that is going to conclude our probably lengthier than normal first episode. Looking forward to going through so much Power Rangers with you. We will see you again tomorrow. DJ, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Yeah, man, it was a blast. It flew by.
Is already so much fun. I'm really, really excited about this. And Jayson, thank you for being here too.
Yeah.
And we will have Jayson again here soon. Jayson, anything else you want to say before you get going that you didn't get to talk about?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, thanks, folks. Okay. We will see you again next time. I'm Captain Logan. This is Jayson.
Bye, guys.
And that's DJ.
See you later in like the 3rd episode or something.
Bye, folks.
See ya.